Hey, this is Heidi Dawson. If you love all things health and wellness and style of any kind, hang out here with me each week. I'm obsessed with never-ending improvement, and it's all in an effort to help each one of us live a wildly successful lifestyle. Subscribe today so you don't miss a thing. Hi guys, welcome to episode 633 of the Wildly Successful Lifestyle Podcast. I'm Heidi, and I couldn't be any happier that we're hanging out today. If you're loving the episodes, don't forget to share them, but also don't forget to give me a 5-star review. Every single one helps the podcast reach more people, so the world thanks you, and I thank you. Okay, so I talked about running little experiments on myself. Well, this week I ran another one. And just as a side note, I am still doing my social media cleanse that I talked about in episode 632. And I've never been so productive since I started doing that. Give it a try. And another thing is my mindset has been consistently better. Anyway, I started another experiment this last week, and it's kind of weird how effective it's been. And I wonder if it might be for you too. Now, it revolves around a simple yet powerful question that I have been intentionally using all week. And that question is, what would you normally do here? Now, if you've ever felt like your results in life are stuck on repeat, this mindset tweak is just for you. And I'll show you how, for me, noticing my default habits led to several breakthroughs. I mean, just think of it like another 15-minute episode just to spark your best self, because that's what we're all about, right? Now, I've read many times that the reason our results often stay the same is because we keep acting in the same old ways. And isn't the definition of insanity doing the same thing over and over and expecting different results? Well, that's one take on it anyway. But so I've started asking myself in every situation, what would you normally do here? And it has been completely eye-opening. Now, for instance, I talk a lot about my sacred morning routine. Normally, I wake up, I do my morning stuff, and I'll make the bed if Eric's already up. And then I just head downstairs and I let the boys out to potty. I'll brew the coffee and settle in for a couple hours with them curled up in my lap. And that's prime time for my meditating, journaling, and reflecting. I don't allow social media in that time, at any time during that part of the morning. But I often catch myself later in the day or at some point during the day thinking I don't have enough time to finish all the things that I really want to finish. So this past week, I've been intentional about where I can increase my productivity. And I've started spotting like small habits and then making small shifts. So for example, the first morning of trying this, I asked myself, what would I do on a regular morning? And that is just to go downstairs empty-handed and start my day. But this time I switched it up. I actually grabbed the laundry. I grabbed the laundry basket and I tossed a load in the wash before I sat down. Now the laundry's running in the background while I get to go through my morning routine. It was a tiny little change, but it freed up my time and also the energy I was using worrying about getting the laundry done. Because I just said, what would I normally do here? Because sometimes what you normally do is not really the most productive thing. It's just the habit that you've created. Another time, the night before, I was working on a kitchen renovation guide I've been creating for Etsy, and it was probably 7:30, and I hit a wall. Like I could not get a feature in the program to work that I was using to build the guide. I was really frustrated. So I got up, I took the boys out for a quick break. And as I did, I asked myself again, when I was outside with them, I said, what would I normally do here? Normally, because it's already 7:30, I would call it a night and I would head upstairs and I would read my book until I went to sleep. And I would just worry about the guide the next day at some point because I was so frustrated. But I switched it up. I actually sat back down after my short little pause and I gave it another shot. And lo and behold, I figured it out fairly easily. It happened quickly after I sat back down. So that obstacle was removed just by noticing my default response and choosing the opposite or choosing differently. And I was still in bed by 8:30 reading my book, but now I felt accomplished and excited to finish the guide the next day. I mean, think about it. Our normal often takes the path of least resistance, doesn't it? But as Tony Robbins he's always taught this, massive results come from pushing through with action, even small little actions. And then Wayne Dyer would add that this is you working from your higher self, the unlimited part of you that's connected to source energy. And that's the way to get things done for sure, right? When you're connecting to your source energy, you can do anything. But I've had several moments like that this week, noticing where I would quit when things got uncomfortable. Usually I would just distract myself, but I wasn't able to distract myself with the normal thing, which was social media. So that was a plus. But so sometimes I would just distract myself with something else, something easier. Now, that easier thing I noticed might be something good. So it might be like folding laundry, because that's much easier than trying to figure something out on a new program, or prepping the boys' dinner. So easy, but it made me feel good about myself. I still felt productive, but it doesn't build that perseverance muscle. I mean, my normal stopping at a certain discomfort level. Do you ever do that? Like my trainer, Kevin, used to always tell me, you do not like to be uncomfortable. And I was like, who likes to be uncomfortable, right? But see, I would justify all the time. I would say to myself, hey, I did this good thing. That's good enough. And I'm not beating myself up here. I have really high standards, but in areas where I have wondered why I'm not as successful as I could be, I can see now how I was limiting myself. Now, for instance, I would walk up a hill instead of running up the hill. If I'm out for a run, I would see a hill and I'd be like, I'd rather just walk it. When I definitely could run it. I would notice that I would do that. I mean, it's not hard. It's not impossible. It's just uncomfortable for me. I also notice I stop at the 8th rep when I'm doing weights. When 10 is completely within reach, it's just uncomfortable. My normal is pretty solid. I am out there doing my run. I am going to the gym, doing the weights. So I can't beat myself up. My normal is really solid. And if I'm content there, then great. Keep going, right? But if I crave different results, I can't keep responding the same way I always have. And I wonder if maybe you do the same, maybe with your workouts or a work project, or even, a challenging conversation. There are so many opportunities throughout the day to make a small shift simply by asking yourself, what would I normally do here? And if your norm is to quit because it's uncomfortable, or stop because, well, it's good enough, or maybe because you don't want to cause friction, then intentionally choose the opposite. Not wildly, but purposefully. If you would normally scroll on your phone during a break, try taking a walk or doing some stretches. If you would normally say yes to please everyone, practice a kind no to protect your energy. I often remember the words Wayne Dyer used when he said, "You are not what has happened to you. You are what you choose to become." You see, this isn't about chasing perfection. It's progress, becoming your best self, one conscious, intentional choice at a time. And I felt it in my world this week, from almost wrapping up that design guide to a deeper sense of empowerment. And my challenge to you today is, don't stop when it gets hard. Accept the invitation to grow, because that's what happens when you push through. Share this with a friend who needs the nudge. I love you guys. I'll talk to you in a few days. Don't forget to subscribe and share with your friends, because we're just going to keep going bigger and better places together. And I love that about us. Talk to you in a few days.